The novel that I decided to read for my book talk is called Shadow Tag by Louise Erdrich, who is a Native American author and also wrote Roundhouse, which we've already read earlier in the course. And the two novels share a common theme, which I said she's a Native American author and they both deal with Native Americans. But the mothers are both kind of like the person who has to overcome a struggle in the novel. And our author is born to a Chippewa Indian mother and a German American father, and she showcases their heritage very, very well in all of her stories. And she grew up in Minnesota, which is where this book takes place, and we see her personal family relationship with her husband also kind of the main story and might have had a factor in this novel. The main characters in the novel are Gil and Irene and their children. Their three children, Florian, Rael, and Stony. And it's a compilation in 5 parts with a 6th part as an epilogue. And it's Red Diary, which is the diary that the mother, Irene, begins to write and then discovers her husband's reading, and she plants like fake stories and evidence in there knowing he will read it, and then gets a safe deposit box where she puts the blue journal, which is her true story, and only her daughter at the end of the novel receives a key to it and discovers the truth about the story of her mother and her father. And that's one of the big first issues I want to talk about is their marriage problems. They have a lot of problems, and they go back and forth with loving each other and struggling to just be around each other. And that also leads into the next one, which is sort of abuse. The father kind of just is very, very hot-headed, and he has a different altercation with all 4 members in his family, and they all kind of react to it differently. The daughter, Rael, wants to stand up to her father, and that boosts her personal individuality trait, which is survival. And Florian just kind of shuts down and doesn't want to be around his father because of it. He's the oldest, and he's the boy, he's the oldest boy in the family, and he is very intelligent, but gets kind of shut down by his dad. And then there's Stony, who's the youngest boy, and he's just really, really innocent, and he kind of goes back and forth with, "Oh, Daddy, I love you," and then wants to stay away from him. And then the other issues in the book are love prevails, and in the end we kind of see that even though they had problems in their relationship, the mother and father do end up solving their issues. And finally, alcoholism goes in a little bit. That's how Irene kind of deals with her problems with Gil, is she just drinks, and that helps her fill the problems that she has. But I would recommend this book because it does address a lot of different issues, and all the issues, or even just one, are very relative to many of us. And it also doesn't just single out Native Americans. It discusses them as a whole a little bit, but it just kind of makes them to be just like a regular American family, which they are. And it reminds us that people of all different races and genders are the same. They have the same kind of problems, they have the same kind of issues, and we can be one common people because of that. So I would definitely recommend this book.